What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hope you're doing well, and hope you're ready for this weekend. Tonight is Thursday. I took the day off tomorrow, and so I got a 3-day weekend. And I kicked it off listening to some death metal, of course. That's my favorite genre. And there was a certain era of death metal that I really enjoy. I love collecting death metal from between, I guess, 94, the mid 90s to the late 90s. And a lot of these are like hidden gems or forgotten gems. Music I really, for some reason, it's in a classification of their own, I guess, so to speak. I've shown these albums before throughout my video catalog, but never shown them all together in one video. And there is something about these albums. I don't know what it is. Mid-90s for me was kind of a dark and gloomy time. And these albums, for the most part, most of them I knew back then. Probably a great majority of them. Some of them are pretty new to me, but was released then. Just for some reason, they just kind of fit together. Kind of like the 91s and the 92s and brutal death metal to brutal death metal, and old school death metal to old school, blackened death metal to blackened death metal. These right here are the hidden gems, I'll just say. So in the background is one of them. I've shown it a couple of times. It's Diabolic. Shit, it's Floridian, Diabolic, and this is Supreme Evil, released in 1998. And this is a newer one I didn't know about, that a new friend from what is that band called? Impious Throne. Sorry, dude, it just kind of blanked me for a second. The drummer, it's a one-man project. We was chatting one night and he suggested checking this album out. I did. Fucking loved it instantly. And I believe I've seen a couple other people shown this, but I didn't really check it out. But yeah, he sent me a link, I listened to it. I was like, fuck, I'll see if it's on Discogs, and I found a copy. So to me, this is some really killer, you could hear it. Some freaking tremolo picking. It's very quick. Morbid Angel-like, of course. That Floridian sound. A badass motherfucker. And I believe I will post links below in the description below, and I'll continue letting this play in the background. So this video is going to be a mix of CDs and vinyl, so I'll go to the next one. This one right here, Tyrant Trooper, Insane Sickness, released in 1995. This album is pretty fucking killer. I've always, for some reason, I don't know, it just has this sound, but the old school way. Some of it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Convulse from Finland. Some of it does. And the intro to it's pretty cool, and it has, I think it's taken from a movie, but I'm not quite sure what movie it is. But it has that, I guess, mid 90s sound with the old school sound. It sounds really kind of raw, you know. It's good. It's very well produced, but it has a raw sound to it. I know I've been looking for this album. I had it back in the day, and then I don't have it now. Or that copy, the OG press, and I got this bootleg for pretty cheap, and that's pretty much, if you want a copy of this, that's the way to go with it. But Tyrant Trooper is a fucking badass motherfucker, and it kind of fits the artwork theme of all these. You'll see what I'm talking about. it fits the artwork theme of all this stuff. Fucking killer shit. Pretty good bootleg too, and I know I said that in the video. I talked about this probably about 6 or 7 months ago, maybe a year ago. It's the last time I showed it. Maybe in that CD collection video, I know I showed some of these, but Tyrant Trooper with Insane Sickness, definitely look this one up. It's a bad boy. Of course, you know, this is an older band. Now, they released their first album in 1991. And, but this album came out in 1996. So, I was in the second, and I bought two, like I say in many of my videos, I bought 2 death metal albums on the same day, and that was Morbid Angel's Blessed Art is Sick and Immolation's Dawn of Possession. And then they kind of went rogue or quiet for a long freaking time. And finally released this gem in 1996, Here and After, which is an absolute fucking masterpiece. I like Dawn of Possession just a little bit more, but just this is a very close second. I'll just say that. So, Knelt to the Gold, Here and After. There's one, the Christ Cage. I really love that song. It's kind of got some weird sound in it. But this is that Metal Blade reissue. That poster came from this. And Immolation's one of my top favorite death metal bands. So definitely had to include this in this era. And I didn't include the more popular bands, I guess. Immolation, you know, in the mid-90s are kind of not as well known as Morbid Angel, especially like Domination or DSI, Nailed to the Cross, Once Upon the Cross. And there's several albums that could probably shown in this, but decided not to. Thought this would be cool just to kind of stick to the hidden gems. So here's another one, Ceremonium, Into the Autumn Shade, which is some killer fucking death doom. I believe they're from New York, I want to say, and I believe one of the members played an incantation at some point. First heard this album somewhere probably 95, 96, I want to say. A group of us used to hang out in the backyard, drink beer, and bring over death metal albums or albums we wanted the other ones to check out. My friend brought a copy of this and played it, and I remember they were all talking the whole time. I was just focused on this music, and it drew me in immediately. I just think this is an absolute masterpiece in death doom. This is of course a reissue. Fine, still got the music. So Ceremonium with Into the Autumn Shade. Fucking masterpiece. And you can see what I'm talking about, but the color schemes are kind of similar, and artwork, I guess, kind of puts it all together, kind of rounds it up. I think the Immolation artwork's a little bit more well designed, or it's, I don't even know what the word I want to choose for it, but it has that it's more artistic, I guess. So another one right here, Xenomorph Imperial Regimes, released in 1995 or 96, somewhere around there. This thing is freaking brutal as fuck. It is insane, especially the drum work on this. That's what drew me in the first place. The vocalist kind of reminds me a little bit, it has almost a blackened tinge to it. It's not really a death guttural growl, but it's still got death growl in it, I guess I want to say. Almost blackened. This thing is fucking brutal. Favorite tracks on this is Werkmacht, Plight of the Zimmerman, Subspecies, Biometrics, or Biomechanics, I want to say, on Blood Harvest. This was a reissue from a few years ago, and it's another one I was like really stoked to get in my collection. So I think it was about the same time was listening to this about the same time. I guess maybe it was 96 when I heard this. 96 or 97 now. That one of my buddies brought this over, and he had a cassette copy. But yeah, definitely, man, I made this video so many times. I've shown this so many times, I feel stupid, but I know I have a lot more new subscribers. I don't think a lot of people wouldn't mind me showing these and bringing them back out, talking about them. But yeah, definitely look this one up if you don't know it. It's, I guess the best way to describe it's more like Angel Corpse. Probably the best way to describe that motherfucker. This one right here, of course, I got the poster behind me, gutted, with Blade For Us to Live. And you can see the color scheme, that blue and red. Xenomorph has that, it's got some blue tinge, but it's mainly that kind of color scheme. Same with this. I'm showing these over and over again so you can see what my fascination is with this style of death metal, this era. But this one, absolute, holy crap. This one's probably, other than the Immolation, I see the gutted showed a lot more than the rest of these. Maybe that Imprecation I'm getting ready to show. But yeah, when I first heard this one, I was completely blown away by it. Especially it starts off with church organs, and the riffing in this is heavy, the guttural vocals in this, and it's just an old school death metal album. Fantastic one. Gutted with Bleed For Us to Live, and you can see the more I'm bringing these out, you can see what I'm talking about. I was afraid I wouldn't get my point across. Same with this from Texas, and this is more of a compilation, but Imprecation, and I have a hard time pronouncing that through whatever Goetia Summa. I think they do a lot of Latin in their stuff. I love their newest album, it's fucking badass. But this one right here is doomy, and it's got a little bit of it's kind of almost blackened, but it's really old school doom, death doom, with some synth, and it's just freaking evil as fuck. Oh, shit. I'm glad that didn't slide out. I wasn't really holding it. Fucking killer one. But yeah, this one, I guess Emperor of the Infernal Spirits. It's fucking killer. The Throne is Lost. Nocturnal Feast of the Luciferians. The Awakening of Majestic Darkness, and Vomit Floods of Christian Remains, which I believe that's the original was just 5 tracks. I got a couple of friends that still have the original. And of course, I don't have my original, but when they reissued this, I jumped on it like with 2 feet and a heart on to get this motherfucker right here. Absolute fucking masterpiece. But the color schemes are freaking blowing my mind how similar they are. That just puts it in that era. Fucking killer shit. Of course, I've talked about this several times, and I think this is Slovakian, Scabbard, and I talk about it so many times. Beginning of Extinction, same thing. You can hear that, you can see that artwork just kind of puts it all together, matches well with everything else. And I just talked about this album, but it's got some synth work in it. It's a little progressive in some. It's your standard old school death metal killer shit right here. Scabbard with Beginning of Extinction. Another killer one, Dementor, as the church dies, or the church dies, I said rather. But another one, I think they're from, I want to say they're from the Netherlands. I want to say, I'm not sure exactly. But this is another one that's very dark and evil, old school death metal. Love the old style logos, and yeah, I think I'm gonna upload this video. I really was having my doubts about doing it because I've showed these albums so many times, but my fucking channel, and if you don't like it, it is what it is. Not many people are watching these anyway. But man, this one, I first heard it probably 98. This is when I first heard it, and I can't remember who had it. One of my buddies had it, and it was playing it, and it's like, who's this? He goes, Dementor. And I was like, pretty fucking badass shit. And he recorded me a copy on a cassette as we listened to it, and I listened to that for years until they put this out, this reissue. But Mortal Melodies, killer. The Church Dies, the title track's killer. Robbed After Death, Rotting God, Revived for Condemnation. It's killer. It's definitely a beast. So since I'm gonna show an eye, show another eye. This is again Grena, and this is Infected Ideologies. This is Portuguese, released in 1994, and it's kind of slow-paced death metal. I love the guitar work in this, especially the solos. The guitar soloist in this is freaking fantastic. I love the deep guttural vocals, and it just this is an album that everybody really needs to know about. I seen Dennis at Analog Archives post a few weeks back the vinyl edition of this, and man, I'm so green with jelly. Tell me as green as this freaking album cover. It's just, I'd love to have this on vinyl, but got this on CD, and I get to listen to it whenever I want to, so that's pretty fucking sick. So again, Grena, Infected Ideologies. And I know a lot of people that are not used to my videos are seeing this, and these probably look all foreign. Not the typical death metal where you see Deicide and Obituary, which I love those, and I've just did videos showing those, but I don't know, pretty fucking cool. Another band from the Netherlands with Mystic Charm, which I actually had the OG CD of this back in the day. Shadows of the Unknown, which is a female vocalist that has almost a blackened style vocals, and she plays some really cool keyboards in it. Comes with this booklet. This is a cool ass fucking reissue. When I saw they reissued this, I was instantly on top of it. But Renee Lipman, I guess. This album was actually recorded, I believe, I read it somewhere. I think they got together in 1989. 1994 is when they released it. Man, I love that riff. This album also comes with that album, or that EP, I should say. But nothing like it. Nothing like going back and listen to these forgotten gems. I mean, they are so forgotten. So Mystic Charm with Shadows of the Unknown. Fucking love it. This one is fucking killer. Lucifixion. I had to think a minute. What is the name of this? I think it's self-titled. Well, no. Indulge in the Macroba. I think they're from Los Angeles or California or somewhere around there. They're kind of a more brutal style death metal, like early, maybe early Broken Hope kind of sound. I think it was Dennis. I didn't know about this band actually at all. I think I knew about this band until Dennis at Analog Archives showed it, because he shows all the fucking OG shit of this. And I believe he said the bass player gave him a copy of this CD. So this is a really, really good album. The artwork is kind of weird. It doesn't take away from anything of the music. 1996, I believe. Actually, the artwork just is perfect with this, and all this shit. Like a killer one. Another one, I think this band is from Switzerland. This is Motorbond with ocular eyes, and this is really, really cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Gore sometimes. It's kind of technical, but not crazy fucking stupid technical. Just old school death metal, almost a bit of thrash in some parts, and just an absolute fucking masterpiece. I always talk about it, but I love the piano work in this son of a bitch. There's one track, that's why I always like this. I remember when I first heard it, it reminded me of Gore Guts' Erosion of Insanity, or Sanity, Erosion of Sanity or something, the 1993 album. That's what this album, when I first heard it, reminded me of. And 1996, another one, and it's the same situation with Tyrant Trooper and Ceremonium. Same kind of situation. Somebody brought this over and we played it, and it just I fucking loved it. This one right here is not for everybody. This is Monastyr. This one's Never Dreaming, which I've said it a million times. I've shown this a couple of times. I love the production on this. I love anything that has that raw production where it sounds like the dudes just put a microphone in the middle of their band practice and recorded an album. And that's what this guy reminds me, because I've done that myself. And it's fucking killer. Love it. And like I said, this is not for everybody. You have to be in that necro sound. This is like necro death metal. Really like Aggressor, the Hellhammer cover. But every track on it is pretty fucking cool. And actually, this is what kicked this whole video idea off. It's the very last record I came to. It's the first one I played tonight. And I was like, you know what? I've talked about these albums so many times. I gotta pull them out and put them all in one video together. I always like this. Kind of starts off with a little bit of like second wave black metal in that very beginning of it. I thought that was cool. But anyway, yeah, Monastyr with Never Dreaming. And the last and final one I've shown so many times is Iniquity with Ceremonium in 1996. I fucking love this goddamn album. Love it to death. There's a lot of people that go, man, every time I show it, they're not too thrilled by it, or not impressed with it or something. It's kind of silly. I mean, to each is their own, but this is a fucking masterpiece right here. And it kind of has that death doom intro, but it has some brutal death metal moments, kind of like Incantation, but with piano and synth work. Not predominant in the video or CD, but just at key points where it really accentuates and puts atmosphere to it and makes it sound a little more evil. I want to say they're from the Netherlands, but I probably am wrong. And I'm pretty sure somebody will correct me, because usually somebody does. And then also I've noticed lately in my videos, well, what about this album? Especially when I make a video of my personal favorites, they'll get mad because I didn't show their favorite. That's fine. People are just kind of crack me up sometimes, but if you're disappointed, make your own video. But if there's a album that you didn't see on this that you think I should check out, I'll be more than happy to go check it out. So just list it that way. But it's funny, it's the ones that just get upset because I didn't show them or show something that they like in the video. Maybe I didn't know about it, or maybe I don't have a copy of it. Most of the time it's because I don't have a copy of it. But I mean, I'm rambling now, you know. And I made a video that I feel like I made before, but it is what it is. I think there's going to be a lot of people that really enjoy this, but especially seeing these albums together in one collection video. So I love making these videos, especially talk about these. These albums are so damn good. I wish I had Judica. I know somebody might mention them. I don't have that one. My buddy has an OG press across town. Every time I go over there, I want to just look at it. I've offered to trade anything I could for it, and of course, you know, he's like me. He don't want to turn loose of it, and I understand that. But gosh darn, I'd love to have a copy of that Judica. There's a couple other albums, but I got a little bit of a brain fog right now. But anyway, that's my video, and appreciate those who've seen these all before taking the time to watch it again, and hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. It's just, I love these freaking records, and it is technically just an era of death metal that I love collecting, and then that's the collector in all of us. So anyway, hope you enjoy. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm actually going to kick back and probably listen to I think I'm going to listen to this next. I'm going to listen to Immolation here and after. I think I might listen to that one next, and after that, kind of doom out with Ceremonium. You all have a good one, and thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Thank you. Bye.